Namaste, my friend. Welcome to Bhakti Yoga Conference, Grace in an Age of Distraction. My name is Happy Jack, the founder of Happy Jack Yoga and a Master of Divinity student here at Harvard. And this is our beautiful speaker series where we're bringing together beautiful souls that are living, sharing, teaching, sharing Bhakti Yoga in many beautiful ways. Monks, scholars, yogis, thought leaders, musicians, scientists, educators. And as of now, over 4,000 registrants. Of course, a smaller subset of us here live in Zoom, but thank you to all who are here Zoom, as well as catching the recording. We'll have time at the end for questions, so have your notebook ready, get ready to raise your virtual hand, share in the chat. I'm going to spotlight our special speaker while we say a few words. Please welcome to the screen, Mother Gopi Gita. Mother Gopi Gita is a widely sought-after executive coach to parents in leadership and has worked with hundreds of parents and educators and more than 1,000 children for over 25 years. Her clients had 100% success in only a few weeks. As the former vice principal of a private school and an education minister for an international society, she knows exactly how to activate leadership qualities in children and teens. Her adult sons lead teams across the US, and her students are established in leadership in their areas of success. Using age-old principles from the East, she can empower you to leadership in any setting and with any willing adult, teen, or child. I must just say myself, I'm so honored to have you here with us, Gopi. We met last semester. We were both students at the Oxford Center for Hindu Studies, taking a Gaudiya Studies program. And I was just personally so touched and inspired by the way that just your way of being, the way that you conducted yourself, the way that you were so considerate of us fellow participants, the way that you articulated yourself. And it was just one of those, there was just something in me that was like, I want those qualities. And it seems to be something like people like you that have been living Bhakti Yoga for so many years. There's something about it. And super inspired to have you here with us. There's so much that I could say. I mean, in fact, yeah, I loved the way that you lead and teach and coach so much. You're now my executive coach, and I'm so grateful to have you in my life in that capacity. The title of today's session is Leadership Parenting. And it's a very special session because it's going to be interactive. We have some parents who have been selected to come on and work through some questions. My friends, if you are ready to get started with Mother Gopi Gita, please throw your arms in the air and loudly chant Haribol.
Haribo. It's so beautiful to see you all here. Thank you so much. Happy Jack. I love being in your space. I absolutely love the quality in you that is specifically creating more leaders, providing a space, and encouraging every single person you come in contact with, even while not promoting yourself or placing yourself too forward. It's such a rare and authentic quality of yours, and I'm so grateful to be here at the Harvard Conference of Bhakti Yoga. So I see a lot of you here with us today. Welcome. We're going to have a quick fast-paced session. I'm requesting that those of you who have your black boxes on, go ahead and turn on your cameras as much as possible so we can see each other and connect with each other for this hour session. Thank you so much.
Beautiful. I love that. Well, thank you for that. And truly, we really encourage you, come on because this will be very interactive and engaging. Before we jump in though, Gopi, could you share a little bit with us? We love to get to know the speakers. What brought you to your spiritual path? What brought you to Bhakti? How did you end up here?
So I want to say I cheated a little because I was born into it. Both of my parents are disciples of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, the founder of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, the founder of the modern Bhakti Yoga path in North America and around the world. And I was really fortunate to be just born into that environment. Personally, I took the path of bhakti really seriously when I was 14 years old, actually around this time, the first week of April. And I committed to reciting and chanting the mantra, 16 rounds of the Hare Krishna mantra at that age. And since then have had some good years and bad years, ups and downs, and have been connecting to the mantra. So I want to say that the real answer to that, what brought you to Bhakti Yoga, is the mantra, the Hare Krishna mantra.
I love that. Thank you so much. It's beautiful to know that you've been living this your whole life, and so there you're just steeped in the wisdom of Bhagavad Gita and these Vedic teachings. Let's jump right into it because I know you have a lot to
Yes.
share and to engage. So we'll turn it over to you.
Yes. Yes. So speaking of the mantra, I will start my talk with 3 recitations of the mantra. And what you will hear today are number one, how to quickly process your own emotional state. Number two, regarding parenting. Number two, how to envision where you want to go with your parenting journey with your children. And number three, one simple strategy that kind of is the most powerful strategy and yet deceptively simple in addressing any and all parenting challenges you may face. Now, I'm trying to consolidate a massive program, 2 to 3 year program, in an hour. But I do want to promise you that you will leave this feeling so inspired that you will have techniques you can apply immediately at home with your children. So let's begin with the mantra. I request the mantra today, who is my dear friend, to connect me with each and every one of you to help you connect deeply with your children, and that your children can connect very deeply with those they are meant to guide and serve in this life. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you for listening. Thank you for singing along. You know, parenting is the hardest thing we do. And when I met with Sarah and George, who will be sharing a little bit of their own parenting challenges, that was the first thing you said, Sarah, was that parenting is the hardest thing we do. And that sentence is precisely one of the main reasons why we launched the leadership parenting process. Now, all of you parents sitting here may be thinking, yeah, maybe parenting's the hardest thing we do, but is it really? Parenting's not that hard for me. um, we're going to work through those societal pressures on us of perfect parenting by sharing our I quit moments. I remember when I first had a baby, I had no idea that it would take that long just to get them to eat, change their diaper, go out to an event with my friends. Every single step felt like something that I had not prepared for, though I was heavily prepared for parenting. Had already gotten a degree in child psychology. I had been studying tons and tons of books, had a whole stack of books on my bedside table, not just while I was pregnant, but all the way leading up to it. I had education certifications in Montessori and Waldorf, and although I felt fully prepared for parenting when I had my baby and when I had to put that first onesie on him at the hospital, and then when he was 1 and he would not stop crying because of something that he wanted, or when he was 2 and there was an argument that took over 45 minutes just to put on shoes, or when he was 5 and his kids were his friends at school were fighting with him and arguing with him, or when he came home from a party and he was feeling bullied. Step by step by step, at every moment there were challenges that we faced where we were like, oh my God, how am I going to deal with this? How can I get through this? And it triggers your own personal challenges, your own anxiety. And parenting is the hardest thing we do. And so if you have experienced that parenting can be, yes, yes, it's also really rewarding. You know, all the TV shows and all the movies, they show parenting as this like amazing, ooh, smiles and perfect pictures, and you get Facebook posts and Instagram posts of all the perfect families out there. And you tend to feel on one side, God, this is so damn hard. And on the other side, but am I the only one who's feeling it? And that gap between what you're feeling and what you see society and your friends feeling or not showing increases and increases until it causes this cognitive dissonance, and it causes this feeling of being completely alone. And so today we're going to close this gap a little bit by those of you who are here who are parents, and even those who are not parents. Please feel comfortable to share what parenting challenges you have experienced or what parenting challenges you experienced as a kid. Because perhaps not all of us are parents, but 100% of us have had parents. And so you can still experience parenting challenges through the other bucket, through the other side. And I'm going to ask you, if possible, for you to keep your service going with your fingers, whether you're on your phone or you're typing into the chat bot, to type in certain words and comments so that I know that you're with me. So right now, I'd love for you to type in hardest. Just type in hardest and let's see who all are here with me. There we go. Happy Jack Yoga's on board here, the leader of our space. Yes, hardest. Thank you. So we start our parenting program with recognizing and holding space for the hard challenges we have. And this is something I'm doing today. You know, we are in a Harvard space. Happy Jack has created a very powerful space of transformation for us here with one of the highest educational institutions supporting Bhakti Yoga. And in Bhakti Yoga, the first process you do is through mantra and through being vulnerable and authentic. You share your challenges. Now, it's not easy for parents to share challenges. There's so much judgment around whether or not you do something right or wrong. You know, the first thing you realize when you become a parent is that when you say you have a problem, you're going to get 50 people who tell you how to do it better. And they're trying to help. Naturally, they love you so much, they're trying to help. But it ends up making you feel even worse that, oh my God, they all know what to do and I don't know what to do. And it causes this discord. So we're going to break open. We're going to release the judgment, and we're going to break open the space for us to share our parenting challenges. Now, this is a safe space because the mantra has arrived, because all of you already have your community of love to support each other. And we're going to ask Sarah and George, who are going to model this for us so it becomes easier for everyone else to share their top I quit moments. So in leadership parenting, we call I quit moments is a long range of challenges. An I quit moment can be as simple as, oh my God, I'm so frustrated. I can't do this. I need to go. I'm going to scream, so I need to go take a deep breath. Or on the other end, when my 6-month-old would cry for 8 hours straight at night for 2, 3, 4 weeks, and I was so overwhelmed and so exhausted, I would start fantasizing and hallucinating about taking him and dropping him off at the fire station or throwing him in the trash can. And even just saying that out loud feels so bad. How can I even say that? Returning him to the store where he came from, that's the other end of the I quit moment. And so we're going to go ahead and share whatever you feel vulnerable and comfortable to share in this public space, your I quit moments. And first, we're going to ask Sarah and George to model that for us. And so I invite you, Sarah and George. Thank you for your courage in doing this with all of us and your openness and accepting prominently the challenges of parenting.
Oh, you're welcome. I just wanted to say, we have an Instagram perfect life with our kids.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're going to talk about.
I mean, oh my God, so do I.
That's it. I could write the book now. I could write the book.
Yeah.
No. Everything you said, I was thinking, yes, that was me. That was me. And I think we had a whole year of just screaming at night, didn't we? It was just waking up.
We're beyond that now, though.
Yeah,
they're 14 and 15.
Yeah, I feel.
Yeah.
I know what it's like. Yeah.
Yeah, so you had two challenges that you had shared privately with me, which are shared by so many of us, and I would love to hear
Sure.
hear you talk about your challenges.
Okay.
Yeah, so the first one is with our teenage son. So he's 14 and he's autistic, so he has some slight learning issues. And one of the things he really struggles with is anger. So, for example, for an I quit moment, and this is quite common, so he might have some kind of technology issue. So let's say he's trying to get into a game and the game is not working, and he's starting to go nuts because the game's not working. And he asks my help. So then I go up to go and help him. And then I'm just running through what's wrong. It's like, okay, do we have internet? He'll go, no, there's no internet. But we haven't actually checked whether there's internet yet, So I'm trying to run through and diagnose what's wrong, but he's just, it's all wrong, kind of. So he finds it very hard then for me to help him. And although when we're feeling stressed, we might take deep breaths and they'll visibly see us doing this. So, from a modeling point of view, and they know that we both meditate daily, because we quite often tell them I'm going off to meditate. So they know those two things, which we know would help them a bit. But in the moment, if you tell him take a deep breath or something like that, he'll just go more nuts.
Yes.
So it seems like in those moments, we can't calm him down in any way and can't get him to any rational thought whatsoever. He's almost like a wild animal.
And that triggers your anger often, because he's destructive sometimes
well.
He'll try and break things.
Yeah, so he might be slamming on a glass table or something like that, or he might just throw his phone across the room, slam doors, hit the wall. He might, he'll take his anger out physically, not on us, but on objects. And it might take him a whole hour to calm down again.
Yeah.
So
any help would be greatly appreciated.
Yes.
When that happens, we don't know what to do, and in the end, I usually just have to leave the room, and there's nothing I can until he's calm again. It's the only way I can, and then I can go back in and try and fix the problem again. But until that point, his brain is not thinking logically at that point.
Thank you so much, George, for sharing. And Amber is saying it sounds similar to what she's experiencing. If any of you experience anger challenges with your children where they get highly emotional, highly chaotic, highly frustrated. I had teenagers and my young one would slam the door and walk out. I'm leaving. I did as well as a teenager. And so please go ahead and start sharing your own I quit moments in this space. Thank you, George, for sharing. So without fixing or changing, the first process is to feel this I quit moment. The yogis journeyed to the Himalayas to feel their I quit moments. They would go and consciously and on purpose surround themselves with painful circumstances to really dig deep into the heart as to how much do I have to process? What can I present? How can I present my internal state of being as powerful and strong despite all the challenges that are around me? But when you hear about the yogis, you tend to only hear the part of like, oh my God, they've surpassed all material and spiritual challenges. You don't hear about the part that maybe was a month or 2 months or who knows how long if they're there for a few years, where they're actually angry and frustrated and recognizing and observing all of the challenges that they're facing, all of the disconnect that they've made with the rest of their life. They're actually internally processing I quit moments. And so here in this space, we hold your I quit moment, George. with your son, and we hold his I quit moment of rage and frustration. And just that in and of itself, of holding space for it without needing to fix or change. And how we do that is by digging deep into the sentence. And now it's a sentence that I taught my school kids, at age 5, but as adults, we forget that we can actually do this as part of our meditational practice. And the sentence is as simple as, I feel. And so I'm going to invite you, George, to state, I feel, and state with me, what do you feel? What emotions do you feel when your son is experiencing these bouts of anger?
I guess in those moments, I would feel frustrated and also angry, but trying not to be angry.
Yeah,
Trying
frustrated,
not to
and
act angrily, but feeling anger at his anger, I guess, inside.
you feel frustrated and you feel angry. I invite you to tell me more. What else is there?
I guess almost hopelessness that because he's just not thinking rationally, that I have no hope of helping him at this point.
You feel hopeless. We're going to just hold space for that hopelessness, not thinking rationally. It's almost like that also comes within you. And what else is here? What else do you feel?
I don't know. I think those are the main things. The main thing is the frustration and the anger. Those two, I think, are right at the top.
I can guess one for you.
Oh, you can guess one. Go on and tell me.
Fear that it will never get better.
Oh,
and that his future is awful because he can't cope with this stuff.
Yes, that comes. Yeah, that I think about that. I reflect on that. Not in the moment necessarily, but sometimes afterwards. Yes, I do reflect on that.
Yeah.
Could this be it forever?
Yeah. Could this be it forever? We're just going to slow down this process and take a few minutes to feel this in this space. And Sarah, with this specific I quit moment, you probably have some feelings as well. What do you feel?
I guess I'm not so involved, but yeah, I just feel frustrated that he hasn't got the ability to cope with it, and that, again, fear that if he can't develop this, and I have no idea whether or not he can, that it will lead to a poorer future for him, because if he gets this frustrated at work, he won't be able to hold a job, and if he gets this frustrated in the relationship, he won't be able to hold down a relationship. So it's future fear that if he's doing this now, will it change?
Yeah, future fear. All right. Thank you for sharing.
We have, told them that, taking deep breaths in the moment and just doing meditation daily to help just give yourself feel centered. They don't want to hear it at all at any point.
That's right. Let her suggest the thing.
Sorry, I'm just saying that.
Yeah.
That's something we thought, well, if we give you the tools, maybe you can do it. But the moment you mention it in any state, they're just not interested.
Yeah. Sorry, Jack. We're trying.
Yes. Yes. It's natural. You want to, the feeling of fear, the feeling of hopelessness, the feeling of frustration, anger. These aren't like spiritual feelings that they don't feel positive and happy and joy and light. And so it's natural that you feel like, wait, I'm practicing meditation in the Bhakti Yoga process. I wish I could bring that to my child and help my child like fix their problems through the process. So I invite you to just feel the feelings. When you become comfortable to just, without fixing or changing, be present with the negative feelings, we call it pain yoga. So pain yoga.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Pain yoga is like dropping into, for me, I've had some trauma in my childhood that I've had to process, a lot of toxicity, a lot of like, yelling, screaming, go into the car with my mantra and screaming and crying until until it passes. And knowing that reaching the mantra space of, our teachers tell us, cry, chant as if you're crying like a baby cries for a mother. Just really letting it all out and allowing ourselves to feel, and knowing that source, the divine, the universe, what we call Krishna, our very best beloved friend, will come in to solve these challenges, but allowing ourselves that space to feel, and then allowing that source, Krishna, to enter our hearts. For me, it's through mantra meditation. For you, it may be another practice to solve it, but not jumping into the solution too quickly, but allowing yourself to feel. And the more you allow yourself to feel, the more your son will see that there's space for his emotions. The energetics will change, where he will realize that, they're not trying to fix me and shut me down. When there's intense emotional swings, it's it's the individual feeling internally that their emotions are not heard or loved or accepted, and so they need to be really, really strong. It's either fight or flight when you have emotions. Some just shut down completely and don't have those emotions, and some push against it so strongly where they're yelling and screaming and you never listen to me, and which I have experienced myself. When my children, played on their phones at night and didn't, it's like 9:30 at night and they're still on their phones. I took the phone and threw it on the ground and cracked it. This was before I promoted the leadership parenting program.
Expensive
And so,
tantrum. Yeah.
yes. And so we naturally get that. And so we just invite you to feel it. And that's the first process of leadership parenting is pain yoga. And of course, in our coaching containers, we'll go into a deeper state of being. When did this state of being of anger, your own frustration arise in your childhood experiences? We process and we work through those much quicker, I'm telling you, than therapists do. And because mantra is very powerful, and leadership parenting has been showing very quick results for that. When your child feels safe to express their own emotions, and the process we won't be sharing today is the HEAR process, but everybody will be getting my book for free today, a digital copy of it. And so you can check out chapter 6, which will teach you the HEAR process, which is empathic communication consolidated, nonviolent, empathic, a ton of communication programs that I have enlisted in and been trained in for 25 years, consolidated, really tight words and phrasing you can say to your children, your teenagers, really anybody you come in contact with, that helps hold their emotional space. But you will not be able to hold their emotional space unless you're able to hold your own emotional space.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. And so for all of you who are here with us, and you shared so many of your beautiful experiences here, Felicia, thank you. Sarah, Swati, thank you. Maria, thank you. Sarah, thank you. Please go ahead and type in how you feel as we move to Sarah here, and ask you, Sarah, now what challenge? Now there's more. This isn't it. There's more for you, George. And we're going to ask Sarah now, what are your I quit? What is your top I quit moment?
Something that has been coming up a lot lately and has been causing a lot of animosity between my daughter and I. She's 15. She's more neurotypical, and she wants to become independent, and she wants to move into our annex in about 9 months when she's 16, and we've okayed that, but we've said that there's certain things that she needs to be able to do before she can move in, which is fair enough. And she wants to get her own cat. That's the real driving thing for her. She wants her own pet, so we've said yes. But we've said that she needs to earn some money to do it, and so she has to do some housework, which is, they're not onerous tasks. Keep her room tidy, do her own washing. Again, she's 15. I've seen her do it. She can do it. She does it very occasionally. But the only way she gets paid is if she does this task, and I remind her to do it. We've gone through phases of not reminding her to see if that happens, to see if that works. That doesn't work either. but reminding her occasionally she'll do it.
Run out of
She'll
pants.
run out of pants, and then she has to do it.
Yeah.
And it's really frustrating for me because she's got a really clear goal. She's got steps to her goal. She wants the goal, and yet she can't motivate herself to do the most basic, simple tasks to achieve the goal. And we're very goal orientated, and we do stuff.
Yes,
so she's very different from that, and it's just really.
Yes, yes, yes. So it's thank you for sharing. We're going to hold space for yours. We're not going to do the I feel process. We're going to work on another process.
Okay.
Now, this process you are completely familiar with because I did stalk you a bit online and checked out your checked out that you had 3 books that you have written, or a variety of books, and one of them, and the philosophy of manifestation you're very familiar with.
Yeah.
The philosophy of the abundance mindset. I also give courses and talks on abundance mindset, manifesting specifically for what you discuss is manifesting wealth and manifesting money. And I noticed that one of my clients is here who have been working really powerfully in manifesting money. She has had an incredible increase in sales and revenue in her company. I just wanted to shout out to Dr. Khatri, who's here. You are experts in manifesting. And so naturally, your inquiry, your desire would be that your daughter would become expert like that in manifesting, figuring out how to get where she wants to go. And so naturally, in a sense, the pressure for her to feel that I need to do this is strong. And that pressure in and of itself might be the gap between her own I quit moment and what she knows she wants and what she knows mom and dad and my society are pressuring me to do. So that gap is the tension that's acting in a way that's making her stop and feel stuck.
Right.
And so that gap, as you know, this is where I am, and that's where I want to be. That gap is where the answers lie. Now, for the rest of our audience who are not experts in manifestation, we're going to do a little bit of a I desire process. And Sarah, I'd love for you through this I desire process, just think about how the I quit and the I desire. So we have our challenge, which is the I quit, and we have where we want to go, which is the goal. And then we have the space between. Both of these, the I quits and the I desires, need to be held with the same value. What we usually do is hold them as the I quit is a big obstacle, a big boulder, rock that I need to climb over and walk towards to get to my goal. But hold them with equal value. Allow that tension to be there. Be okay to hold that tension in that space. And when you do that, when you lift up the I quit and give it more value, then the tension that is created there provides forward momentum instead of just staying stuck. So just a quick tidbit for you, and the next strategy, the third strategy we'll share, we'll give a little bit more here on how to solve this, but for everybody else and for you as well who are here. So Sarah and George shared their I quits. Now we're going to move into the opposite space, which is the I desire space. Every single one of you, and I'm looking at all your names here. We've got Wendy, we've got Joanna, we've got Tanya, we've got Ethan, we've got Kenneth, we've got David, Felicia, Amber, Sarah, Maihali, Rita, Renee, and 60 of you who have joined. All of your children are here in this space with us right now. This parenting path has descended. I'd always get emotional when I talk about this, and I'm trying not to, from age-old principles promoted by the saints of Bhakti, Gora and Nitai. And I had a presentation so I could show you their picture, but I'm not going to share that right now. You can imagine them in your hearts. And you are committed to Bhakti Yoga. I mean, Happy Jack is like all in for all of you and with all of you. He has been working so hard because of his commitment and because of the Happy Jack community's commitment. And for any of you who have joined this Harvard space today, your commitment is beyond par. You are the cream of the crop of the population of 8 billion in this planet. And your children are purposefully and very lovingly been placed in your home so that you can make your mark, serve those you are meant to serve, and transcend the materialistic space of pain and suffering in order to reach that place of joy and flow and love, the spiritual realm, which you can do now and here today.
Hooray!
And so I just want to share with all of you who are here your heart's desire. You know, our kids are made in an act of love and an act of desire. And to trust your heart's desire. While we are working on our I quits, we worry that, oh, we won't get our goal. So we minimize the I quits. We don't want to focus on the challenges. We just want to focus on the goal because we worry that, oh, we won't get there. You will get there. Not only will you get there, but you will notice that your children will actually guide you to get there. If the leadership parenting path is not just, I'm a parent and I lead my kids, it's, wow, my children, our children's floor is our ceiling. They start where we end. And if we can unlock those specific strategies and secrets to figure that out, it's so incredible and so amazing to witness how they are actually doing way more than we even ever imagined. And so right now I'm going to ask all of you who are here to put in your desires. We did the quits. And now let's put in your desires for your kids. Now somebody might say, well, I want my kid to be a doctor, but then they're going to feel the pressure to be a doctor. And what if they're a writer? We start with this I desire process, just to open up, what is it in our hearts? What do you envision for your child if the most powerful personalities of the spiritual kingdom came and asked you, what do you wish? What would your desire be? In Bhakti cultures, we have trees. I mean, everything's a desire tree. The people, like the devotees, are considered desire trees. The actual trees are considered desire trees. In the holy places, the rocks and the birds and the dust and everything's considered a desire tree. And so we in ancient villages in India, they take little ribbons. And so if you have a parenting workshop with me, you'll see that I'll come with little ribbons and you write out what you want, and we symbolically tie it to the desire trees. So today your desires are being fulfilled. Please type in, what do you really, really, really want for your child? I desire, Sarah is saying, for them to thrive. Ooh, they're coming in, yay. I desire for them to thrive and be happy and successful doing whatever they want to do as they serve the Lord. Beautiful. I want my daughters to be true to themselves, happy and joyful. I see a thread of authenticity there. I desire my daughter to be able to be more comfortable being social and outgoing than I am, and to have the confidence to take risks and not waste too much time being a wallflower. Okay, so you want social confidence, and you want the sambandha space or the connection space to find love for herself and for the divine. I love that one. Beautiful. Thank you, Kenneth. Amber, for my children, I desire a wholesome life connected with nature and their true whole human being. Wendy, I desire for my children to find their own truth and happiness. Sudupto, I desire them to be desireless. Ooh, we're getting a little fancy here. So desireless for material desires, but spiritual desires are open and welcome. And Susan, I desire for them to have a peaceful life. Susan is a Prabhupada disciple, and so grateful that you're here with us today. Rita, fulfillment. I desire them to feel satisfied and fulfilled internally. What a beautiful desire. Patricia, for my students, I don't have children to understand, learn material in my class, because I think it can help them in their world and their jobs. For your students, Patricia, I have a book for you, leadershipteaching.org. Go download that book. And I love your desire. You are a mother to many, so thank you for that. David, I desire my son to find peace of mind. Kripamoya, I want them to be independent, and they're pouring in. I desire me and my oldest daughter to forgive each other, my youngest to be happy and thrive, my daughter have health and contentment, my kids to be devotees of the Lord. Beautiful, Marielle. And ooh, they're just pouring in. I won't be able to read all of yours out loud, but thank you for bringing in your desires. And Sarah, I would love for you to close your eyes and tell me, if your daughter is at her highest manifested state, what do you desire for her?
I want her to find love and happiness and peace doing something that she really enjoys, being useful to the world. In an ideal world, I'd love her to find Bhakti and Krishna consciousness, but I don't know whether or not that's going to be her path. But either way, I want her to feel like she's living her best life every day.
Okay. So we're going to remove the doubt for a moment, and we're going to dig deeper, and I want to hear the ideal. What does it look like? Your ideal. Even though there's doubt there, we hold doubt when we work on I quits. Right now we're working on desire. What is your ideal? Share it with us.
That she just wakes up with absolute joy every day to be alive and does something that really inspires her, and that she is a complete light in the world.
Thank you. And I invite you to close your eyes again and go deeper and tell me, what movements do you see her doing?
What, sorry?
What movements? What actions? What
Oh,
actions is
actions.
she doing?
I don't know, just serving, helping people, helping animals. She's really interested in animals, so I can see her going that way and just making a really positive impact and feeling really fulfilled about it.
All right. Do you see this right now in your mind's eye? Are you able to see a visual? I know we're public and it's like totally thrown on you randomly, but try your best to go deeper. I was just recently in a group where somebody did this with me and I wasn't able to completely visualize. So try your best. Are you able to get a picture of your daughter doing this? And if yes, what is she wearing?
Oh, she's wearing jeggings and a just a hoodie top, just being herself with her hair flying all over the place.
All right. And what actions is she doing? What are her hands doing right now in your ideal space?
She's stroking a cat.
Hmm. And what is she feeling?
Just complete contentment.
Beautiful. And I see so much joy in your face. On your face, what are you feeling?
I guess just grateful.
Yeah, I can feel the emotion arising. And my own emotion, thank you so much, Sarah. And my own emotion arises as I think about all of the desires each of you have popped in. And I'm looking at the time and recognizing I have one more strategy to share with you all. What a world it would be, in response to Kripamoya Das's question, what a world would it be if each of our children are able to reach those desires? And looking at your desires, I've got a lot of testimonials. You can check out my website where we have surpassed many of these desires. So I can say right now, looking at this list of desires and your desires, Sarah, that I can help you with this. And more than me, the leadership parenting path can help you with this. And here's one strategy. We've got over 50 strategies to help with this. And here's one strategy that I'm going to share. I'm going to show my screen right now. In the meantime, let's imagine that world. What a world it would be if all of our children had reached those spaces of desire. And I'm just going to move to this last strategy. This strategy is the most powerful strategy of leadership parenting. It is also the hardest to do, especially if you haven't done the inner work of working through your own I quit moments and your own need to fix or change what is. This is called the love boost. And the love boost, I'll tell you a quick story. So as a teacher, as a school teacher, an elementary school teacher, we had playground time with our students at recess frequently. And there was a little boy who was constantly throwing mulch on outside of the play area into the grass. Now, wooden mulch is expensive, and it makes it that the kids then can't fall and play and not hurt themselves if there isn't enough mulch under the swings or near the slides. And he was just regularly during snack break, just taking the mulch and throwing it out of the playground structure. And the teachers were trying to work with him. You know, we have a very beautiful school process, the Bhakti Yoga School in Dallas. And the teachers are very gentle, very powerful teachers. Most of the strategies I've presented in leadership teaching is taken from those teachers. And this boy was not paying attention and he was not listening. And no matter what strategies were applied, still almost as if in defiance of the teachers, he would take the mulch and he would throw it out of the playground structure onto the grass. And so usually during during break time is when I would sit with the principal as the vice principal of the school and discuss important things, important meetings. And I thought, let me let the teachers figure this out. Monday, break, and Tuesday, break time, he's still throwing mulch. And I'm recognizing in myself getting frustrated. My Asian background's coming in like, oh my God, how can he not be listening? He's only 6. What is wrong with him? How many teachers is he disturbing right now? And so I recognized, okay, let me go try the Love Boost. I had already produced the leadership parenting program and was working with parents, and the Love Boost was like creating magic in so many parents' lives. And so I said, let me try the Love Boost. So the Love Boost has 4 steps. Limit your words, observe the opposite, verbally record, and energize with equality. So I'm gonna teach you here how to do the Love Boost. So I walk over and I'm recognizing that I'm in chaos. I'm recognizing I'm very in touch with my state of being, and I'm recognizing that I'm going to talk to this boy frustrated because it's been 3 days and he hasn't been following instructions. And what the hell is wrong with him? I would not say that to the kids. And so as I walk, I recognize I want to give him a lecture. Instead of L lecture, I'm going to L limit my words. And I'm just going to observe what is happening here. And so I don't know what to observe because I can't understand why he's doing this. So I literally just observe the actions of his hands. And he's taking his hands and he's working with the mulch. And 5 and 6-year-olds, they love to fiddle with their hands. They're very tactile, very kinesthetic. And so as he's fiddling with his hands, I start verbalizing that. Observe the opposite, verbally record what you see. Now, I don't know what I'm supposed to say. I'm figuring it out as I'm going forward. Oh, so I see that you really like to play with the mulch. Now, he's expecting that I was going to come and get on his case because that's what everybody's been doing. So suddenly I notice in his eyes and in his body language, because I study NLP, this like, oh my God, she's not yelling at me. Yeah, he nods his head. Yes, he likes to work with his fingers. And then I sit down and I start touching the mulch as well. It feels good, huh? It feels warm and soft, and it feels good to play with it in your hands. And now his eyes have hope. Somebody's looking at me. Somebody's noticing me. Somebody's not trying to fix and change me. And so I continue. I see the hope. And I always get goosebumps when I tell this story. I continue. Okay, there's some kind of connection happening here. Maybe we'll figure this out. And then I look across the playground, just around to where he's throwing the mulch. And I recognize that he's throwing the mulch in an area of grass that's muddy. And so I realize, oh, he's trying to solve a problem here. He's thinking that if he throws the mulch in the mud, that the mud will be fixed and, it won't be slippery and dirty for everybody. So I recognize that this boy at age 6 is a problem solver. So I verbalize that. Oh, you're throwing the mulch into the mud area. Are you trying to cover that because there's no grass and because there was a lot of rain over the weekend? And again, he's nodding. Now, this boy doesn't have the words to express what his feelings are, what he's doing. So I continue verbalizing, and suddenly I recognize that right there in the grass, his friends are playing soccer. And this boy has struggled after the pandemic with so many kids struggled with how to talk to each other and how to make social connections. And so the ball keeps running towards him. He wants to play soccer with the kids. Every time he goes to play soccer with the kids, he ends up pushing them and punching them and getting frustrated. Everybody gets frustrated with him. But he has this need for social connection, and he's covering the mulch with mud because the soccer ball comes there a lot out of bounds. And then he picks up the ball that's now clean and doesn't have mud on it to give back to his friends so he can connect with them and feel worthy and valuable. And so I pause and I'm like, oh, are you trying to make it so the ball doesn't get muddy? Because you like soccer, because the kids are playing soccer? And the state of being that he exhibited when he was recognized and when he was seen was so powerful. Yes, he was immediately engaged with me. Somebody understands me. Somebody sees me. Somebody knows my needs. And my teacher, my parent, my guide, they see me and they understand me. So this love boost, it ends with E, energize with equality. Oh, that shows me that you're kind, you're clean, you're a problem solver, you want to connect with your friends, you like connecting. This is the love boost. Now, this in and of itself is powerful enough to shift behavior. Because when you start recognizing what they are instead of what they aren't, and you start with the lowest. When a circus performer or an acrobat has to walk across an Empire State Building with another like high-rise building in Manhattan, they don't start at the top. They start at the lowest level. They walk across the tightrope when it's on the floor, and then they lift it up 1 inch, and then they lift it up 5 inches, and then 1 foot, and then 3 feet, and then 10 feet. But they start at the lowest level expectation. Now, as leaders and as high achievers and as spiritualists, we're going to like transcend this material plane. We start at the highest. So we request you to go all the way down to the lowest level achievement and see what you notice. And when you notice things, not in a sense of praise and, oh my God, you're amazing, you did this great thing. When you notice things at that level, you allow the person, the student that you're working with, to feel seen and to feel heard. And there's so many stories, personal stories I can share on this. One client was seeing that her daughter was so unmotivated for piano practice, Jenny from Australia, and her 14-year-old daughter would complain and complain and complain. And we had to do a lot of work. We didn't have to do a lot of work. We loved to sit together and process the I quit moments before she was able to apply the love boost. Because if the rage and the anger and the frustration is too much in your head, it'll be like counterproductive to fakely apply a love boost. But once she was able to apply the love boost, our next call, she was like so overwhelmed in excitement that I sat there and I just told my daughter I was upset that she wasn't practicing piano. I could see that she was sitting for 10 minutes and I knew that after 10 minutes she was going to quit. But instead of saying, "Oh my God, you're not doing it right," all I said to her was, "Yeah, I can see your fingers are dancing on the piano. Ooh, I can see that you're really committed to this particular tune, even though it's difficult." And I'm taking a look at the time here, so I'm going to quickly share my screen once again and tell you how the saints do this. Our spiritual teacher, Srila Prabhupada, he made every person he came in contact with feel this. When I handed him $10, it felt like I had given him $1,000,000. One of his disciples said he floated the $10 in the air as if it was the most valuable possession he had achieved, the most valuable gift he had given. Saint Gora, every single dialogue with every single personality he had, if you study the books, the Bengali and the Sanskrit, this guy, Kashmiri, had come to humiliate him, had come to show off his own strengths. And instead of feeling attacked and aggressive by what Kashmiri, the Saint Gora, when he was younger, known as Nimai, said, the first sentence he said was, "There is no greater poet than you in this world." He love boosted him. And so we ask each of you also to love boost your children. Love boost yourselves. Love boost your children. And it's a simple sentence frame. I see you are, insert action. This shows me you are, insert behavior, insert quality. I see you are. So, Sarah, how could you do that with your daughter? I see you are. You had a beautiful visual of some action, some ideal level action. What could you say to her in the sentence frame?
I guess I see you are taking good care of our cat. This shows me you are caring and conscientious.
Yes. And we want to observe the opposite. So right now we've observed that she's not motivated. So I see you are. What is she motivated about?
Oh, very much talking to her friends, really.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so
So
I see you are being really good at communicating with your friend.
Okay.
I can see that you're caring and kind and want to help her.
Yes. And so we do this as much as possible so they change their inner state. They change their way of looking at themselves. Because right now, our kids are looking at themselves through our lens of what isn't working. Let's shift it so they start looking at themselves and they blossom, and that motivation comes flowing in. And so those are 3 strategies out of 50 that I've shared with you all today. And I thank you all for listening.
Thank you.
We're going to just end with a quick asking every single person here to type in an I see you sentence. I see you are action. That shows me you are quality. And thank you, Jack. I've gone a little bit over time. I know we wanted time for questions and we ran out of time here.
Oh my goodness, so amazing. Let's send our love, high vibes, Mother Gopi Gita, as well as Sarah and George. Thank you for your participation. I see that you are incredible at this process, and I wish I had these tools when I was a kid. I honestly, hearing that little boy throwing the mulch, that was like making me laugh. I'm like, yeah, you're describing me. So what a powerful framework and tools to have, and I really appreciate that you made it so relevant, and we did it. We didn't just hear about it. We didn't even just observe it. We actually typed in the chat and did the work ourselves. So beautiful. Again, Sarah and George, we're sending our love, high vibes over to Kent, UK. In these last few moments, because yeah, we won't really have time for Q&A. But I guess 2 things, Mother Gopi Gita. Let us know how we can stay in touch with you. And anyways, we're going to share that for everybody catching the recording. Website, social media, your book. Maybe you can't name it all now, but send that to me so I can put it underneath the recording. And then also, if you just leave us with parting words, what would you leave us with because actually, as you were talking about this love boost, at one point I found myself disconnected because I don't have children. But as I heard you describing the love boost, I'm like, this is not just for kids. Like, I could apply this to my parents, to people I'm living with at the ashram. Like, this obviously applies to any relationship. At least that's what I took from it. But what would you leave us with as we walk forward on this bhakti path?
Yes, parting words are, if we want to be the change that we see, we need to commit to these practices every single day, committing to speaking to our children in certain ways, to giving space and holding space for. It's going to be a 50-minute session that you listen. For those of you who are listening to the replay, I ask you to download my book, to take this seriously, to promote parenting in your own selves, in your own lives, by actually committing to the process. And if you want to know how to commit, you can send me an email if you need more help, if you want, to solve your challenges. And the thing with your challenges, they're here because your children are here to make a mark, make a powerful mark. All of you are bhakti yogis, and your children are needed. You are needed. Your I quit moments are needed. Your children's I quit moments are needed. Every I quit moment is the foundation of incredible growth and healing for this planet. And so I ask you to take leadership parenting seriously and go download the book and send me an email. I take very few clients, but we're promoting programs this year, low ticket programs.
Amazing. Oh my goodness. So grateful to have you in my life, Mother Gopi Gita. People are asking me the question, where can we get all this? We'll put it all, Mother Gopi Gita will send it to me. We'll put it all under the recording. Let's go get the book. Let's read it. And yeah, the world's going to be a better place because of you and because of each of you who are going to go and live this now.
Yes,
So my
thank you.
friends, yeah, thank you. My friends,
Thank
make
you
it
so
an
much.
amazing rest of the day. And we will see you again very soon. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.